50% of all IPOs in the US last year were done through SPACs, and 70% so far this year. So that there have been, as you rightly mentioned, 135 SPACs done to date. I think the market will become more selective. The quality of sponsors and the quality of the companies that are merging through SPACs have improved dramatically over the last less than a year, actually. It started in April last year. And yes, the retail investors have come to the market, but the majority of the investor base is still the sophisticated institutional investors. And I think just as you see in regular IPOs, you have a retail following, but over time, I think it's the sophisticated investors that will continue to drive the market. There'll be some accidents along the way, and that will be healthy because it will really make the market more selective for the quality sponsors and the quality targets. And at the end of the day, a SPAC is just like a regular IPO. The performance of the SPAC in the aftermarket depends on the quality of the sponsor and the quality of the target that's merging with it. So if it's a good story, if it's a good, underlying attractive company, it will do well and nobody will get hurt. But if it's jam tomorrow type companies, we've seen a lot of those in the electric vehicle space or LiDAR or other companies like that, where they're valuing themselves on the basis of 2025 revenues. Those are not the kind of companies we're attracted to. And I think those can see some accidents, absolutely.
Makram, I just want to get a little bit more color on the difference in investor base here in Europe versus the US, because as I understand, there's been a broadening of the investor base in the IPO market in the US. Not only do you have institutional investors like hedge funds and mutual funds, but you've increasingly got sovereign wealth funds and the retail community getting involved. To what extent is the European market handicapped from the investor perspective when it comes to companies looking to come to market here?
Sorry, I'm not sure I understand. Do you mean in terms of European investors going into SPACs? Or?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think unfortunately the market is way behind in Europe. There were 0 SPACs raised on the London Exchange last year. I think there was only 1 raised in France. There were 248 raised in the US. And it's because you need, first of all, an attractive structure. And unfortunately, Europe doesn't have that and ought to have that. And I think the London Stock Exchange and others are working on refining the SPAC structure in Europe. But more importantly, you need the whole ecosystem around it of investors who understand the product, who are interested in investing in the product. And so far, overwhelmingly, the investor base is American, not European. And we hope that the market will open up here. We were a first mover with Golden Falcon and TMT and FinTech. We could do a SPAC also in Europe when the structure gets improved. And hopefully we can create a good ecosystem in Europe, because otherwise Europe will miss out. And it's a shame also for the companies in Europe that are very, very attractive. Those European TMT and FinTech champions I mentioned, they don't have access to the capital markets. They don't have access to the same pool of money of venture capital, and they need to finance their growth. So what's their alternative is only at the moment to merge with the US SPAC. And we hope, over time, the market will develop in Europe as well.